Sources tell CNN there is a messy debate behind the scenes over how to deal with controversial comments by freshman Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. The infighting kept a resolution to condemn anti-Semitism off the House floor. So joining us now to talk about all of this and more, we have Andrew Gillum. He was the 2018 Democratic nominee for Florida governor and is now a CNN political commentator. Mayor, great to have you here.
Good to be with you. Good morning, you.
Where are you with Congresswoman Omar's comments? What do you think should happen?
Well, I mean, obviously, all of us reject anti-Semitism, and she does as well, and she says so in her own words. What I really find really baffling is that it has this controversy over anti-Semitic or not has really allowed us to cover over and paper over, I think, some otherwise legitimate questions that are fair to be raised. She talked about the power of special lobbying interest in Washington, D.C.
But she used, as you know, some tropes. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. And she said, you know, why do people have, I mean, I'm paraphrasing, allegiance to a foreign nation? And those things perked people's antenna up because those sounded like anti-Semitic comments.
Well, rightfully so. And I will tell you, I mean, I have visited Israel 3 times. I had a sister city relationship with Israel, a city called Ramat HaSharon, when I was mayor of Tallahassee. My support for Israel had nothing to do with money, but deeply held beliefs in a relationship. That being said, I do believe that it is fair for us to engage in a real conversation and debate around special interests, influence on U.S. foreign policy. I think it is appropriate for the Congress and for a member of Congress to talk about foreign policy in the U.S. relationship with other countries. I think that's wholly appropriate. The problem, however, is I think we've got to do a better job of not allowing the name calling to distract from what are I think, important public policy debates. She's got to make atonement and make sure, and I'm sure she has figured this out, there are some supporters of hers that she's angered through this process and people who have been hurt by it. And if her intention was not to do so, you have to govern your language much more appropriately. But the response by Democrats, in my opinion,
for the second comment, has she apologized adequately?
Well, I think, so one of the things she ought to do is, I think, make very clear what was being said there. Now, what I heard was that U.S. members of Congress are first and foremost loyal to the United States of America and U.S. interests. I think you can say that and at the same time be supportive of Israel.
Let's play exactly what she said here.
Sure.
I want to talk about the political influence in this country that says it is okay for people to push for allegiance to a foreign country.
So the issue here is, and I think you're 100% right, no one would disagree with the fact that there needs to be a way to discuss the decisions that are made in Israel and U.S. foreign policy toward Israel and whether the Israeli government is enacting the best policies without questioning the motivations of Americans who are giving their support or not support for those policies here. And what Representative Omar did for a third time, depending on how you count it here, was talk about the motivations of Americans here. And there are American Jews, particularly in Congress, who have said, look, you know, you don't tell me that I'm not loyal primarily to the United States of America. This sounds like people, when they were saying John Kennedy would be loyal to the Pope and not to the U.S. Constitution. And it's the fact that this has now happened again and again that I think people are drawing attention to.
Well, I think what she said is that she believes that these are conversations that should be had. And I think
conversation is really policy or what motivates Americans?
Well, I will tell you what motivates me. I don't fit into a category that says I'm motivated by anybody's money when it comes to my support for Israel. That set to the side, it is important that we be able to have a full public policy debate around the U.S. role in those areas. And as I said, for the Congresswoman, if her intention is not to be harmful to a constituency that I think she cares about and an issue she cares about, then she will have to govern her language appropriately. I find it, however, a quite different reaction from what is happening right now in Congress as it relates to this resolution and the continued sort of pushing by members of Democratic leadership on a resolution.
You do think they need a resolution or no?
I don't, and I'll tell you, I think that this ought to be a conversation that is happening within our party without a doubt.